In today's video, we're going to take a virtual trip back in time to Walt Disney World, 1976. Welcome everyone, I'm Mark. If you're new to the channel, I'm going to ask that you please click my face in the corner to subscribe. And don't forget to ring that bell icon up above so you know when I post new videos. I have a trip to Walt Disney World coming up in about 2 weeks, and because of what's going on right now in the state of the world, I don't think it's going to happen. So I decided that we would take a virtual trip, not only to Walt Disney World, but to Walt Disney World over 40 years ago. And we're going to see what it looked like in 1976, and we're even going to get a little taste, a little flavor of some of the things they served back then. This is going to be a really fun video. And I want to start off with this. I dug this up from my whole stash of old stuff from days gone by. This is a folder that you used to get when you checked into the Contemporary Hotel. Look at that, how the M and the P are kind of presented together. On the back, there's the Disney World logo. And there's some really neat things in here. One thing that I see is the old doorknob sign, do not disturb. That's what used to hang outside your door when you didn't want to be bothered. And then there are some postcards here. Look at that. Treasure Island from the mid-1970s. And we have another postcard in here. This is the Grand Canyon Concourse at the Contemporary Hotel. That's what it's not much different now when you think about it. As I look at this, it still looks very, very similar. The shops, of course, are different, and they do have, the restaurant there, Chef Mickey's. But overall, anyone that looked at that would recognize that as being the Contemporary Hotel. And some other things that are really neat. Here are the envelopes and some of the stationery that was available to you as you stayed at the Contemporary Hotel. Pretty plain. It just has the banner across the bottom. And it says Contemporary Hotel, Walt Disney World, Lake Buena Vista, Florida, 32830. And then there's some other interesting things here. There you can see the map of the Contemporary as it looked in 1976. Isn't that amazing? You just don't have all of those extra buildings off to the side. And the Disney Vacation Club, of course, isn't there. It was quite a different world. Now we're going to look at something else, another little piece that I dug up. This is a guide for summer guests from Walt Disney World, and it sort of spreads out in a big, large three-page fold out, three-panel fold out. And then on the back, what is this? It says 8 and 12 and 17. I don't know if those are dates or what those relate to. That's what I'm looking at in the back. But what I think is really, really super interesting here are the prices. And right here on the prices, I'll read this to you. General admission includes entrance into the Magic Kingdom and use of the transportation system. Adults, $6. Junior, 12 to 17, $5. Children, 3 to 11, $3. For $6, you could get into Magic Kingdom. Imagine that, $6. Of course, that didn't include getting on any rides, but you could enjoy all the magic, walk around up and down Main Street, go through the shops. You could go through all of the different worlds, the different lands. So what if you wanted to do something? The basic ticket book was adventure ticket includes entrance into the Magic Kingdom, use of the transportation systems, and admission to 8 attractions. So you'd get 8 tickets for $7.25. That's amazing. There's another option for still under $10. The adventure ticket book includes all of those: entrance into Magic Kingdom, use of the transportation system, admission to 12 attractions for an adult, $8.25. And it goes on from there. They have an adventure ticket book where you could get into 16 attractions, the Vacation Kingdom ticket book, which included 2 days admission to Magic Kingdom, 2 days of transportation, 16 attractions, including a cruise to Treasure Island and a day's admission to River Country. All of that for $18.25. Basically, you could have 2 complete days with all the trimmings at Walt Disney World for $18.25. That is absolutely astounding. So that is the guide for summer guests. Now let's go back to 1976. I have one more thing to show you. 1976, of course, was a year of the bicentennial, and here is the World News newspaper. America on Parade salutes United States 200th birthday. And it talks about all of the different things that were going on. On the back, we have all the activities, the shops, the restaurants. As we move inside, you can see tree houses, vacation villas available for leasing at Lake Buena Vista. So one of the first things that you could see that were still around as far as the unique options of staying was the tree houses. Now, of course, they still had the Contemporary Hotel and the Polynesian, which we're going to talk about in a moment. You can see I'm all decked out for the Polynesian, even though what we're going to be tasting today is going to be from the Contemporary. And what I think is really, really interesting here is the transportation schedule. As I look at the transportation schedule, you can see all of Disney World consisted of the Magic Kingdom, the Contemporary Hotel, the Polynesian Hotel, and Treasure Island. That was pretty much the entire thing. And then down below, they give the transportation options: motor coach, which of course is the buses, the monorail, the ferry boat, which we still have, the motor launch, which is still there, and maybe that's wrong because it says shuttle bus down below, so I'm not sure that I fully understand the difference between motor coach and shuttle buses. But those were our 5 options. Very similar to today, but they just didn't go as many places. As I page through here, there is a little thing here talking about the Musketeer Club. And if parents wanted to go out, the kids could go and stay at the Musketeer Club. All of the dining. And here's what we're going to visit today. Top of the World at the Contemporary Hotel. Top of the World used to be what they call the supper club, the fancy dining where you get dressed up in a jacket and tie. I had been there. It was really quite cool. And at the time of this newspaper, it was being redecorated, so it was closed for 3 weeks. But when it reopened, the stars were going to be Marilyn McCoo and Billy Davis Jr., who were really big stars back in the mid-70s. They had hit records out. They were just off of being part of the Fifth Dimension. So that's a pretty major league talent to get at the Top of the World. And what they had at Top of the World were signature drinks. The signature drinks included drinks that were named after the monorails. Monorail Purple, Monorail Yellow. And that's what we're going to do today. We are going to reconstruct some of the monorail drinks that they served back in the 1970s. Now the drinks I'm going to be making, I'm going to make in these 2 glasses. I don't think either of these glasses were actually used for the drink. Now this is a Contemporary Hotel glass of that era from the 1970s. You can see it has the old Contemporary logo on it. And this is a classic Mickey Mouse glass. And you can see that has Mickey in his very classic pose. He doesn't have the white eyeballs, he just has the black eyeballs in there. I want to tell you something really scary that just happened. Of course, these have been in storage for a while, so I got them out and I just washed them before I started recording this. This one was done, it was dry. This one I had washed and I was drying it and it slipped out of my hand and it fell. Fortunately, there was a towel on the counter and it came inches from hitting this glass. So I almost broke both of my classic Disney glasses in one fell swoop. but I didn't. So let's get started and look at the first classic drink that we're going to make, Monorail Yellow. Here's our list of ingredients. We're going to need rum, orange juice, cream of coconut, pineapple juice, maraschino cherries, an orange slice, and some crushed ice. And now we're ready to get things started. I'm getting this recipe from this book, Cooking with Mickey Around the World. It's an official Walt Disney World cookbook, so we know we're getting the right recipe. Now, I know that real bartenders would laugh at me for measuring things out. They do things by the pour, but I'm not a real bartender. So I'm going to make sure it's measured out properly and we're getting the drink the way it was meant to be. The recipe says mix these in a blender. Seems like overkill to me. I would think you could just use a mixer, but we're going to follow the directions. I have the shot glass here. This is not quite vintage. It's Magic Kingdom 45th anniversary since 1971. You do the math. And we're going to start with 1 1/4 ounces of rum. And there's our quarter. 3 ounces of orange juice. 3/4 ounces of cream of coconut. Now this stuff is really thick, so make sure that you shake it well. 2 1/2 ounces of pineapple juice. And then we're going to put the lid back on this. 3/4 cup ice, which is already in there. I have to make sure this is put on right, or else this crazy thing won't start up. That should be right. There we go. And it says 2 seconds. That was about 2 seconds. We'll give it a little extra. Then we're going to pour this into a tall glass. I think back at the top of the world, this was done in a large kind of a Tom Collins glass. We're going to pour it in here. And garnish with an orange and cherries. And doesn't that look delicious? But you know, it's not about the look, it's about the taste. That is so good. I was just transported back to Disney World 45 years ago. I don't know, that's what I'm imagining anyway. Well, I'm going to finish this one off. I think we're going to wait for the next video to do our second drink, Monorail Purple. As always, I encourage you to like and share the videos. Leave your comments down below. If you haven't already, please subscribe by clicking my face in the corner, and don't forget to ring that bell icon up above. That way you won't be left out and you'll know when I post new videos. Thanks for watching. I'm Mark, and this is the Average Me channel. Oh, it's good.